this is not easy. Okay, this is like innocent. Okay, this is not easy. How now, round cow? How now, round cow?
Barn Talk, episode 3 here with Joe Cronin, former NEB alumni, Boston College alumni, Minnesota Twin alumni, current Boston Red Sox performance coach, I believe is your current title.
Development coach.
Development coach.
Close enough.
Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
Coach Abraham alongside here. Team Puma. Thanks for the sponsorship. Appreciate you.
Forever faster.
Just wanted to take the time and kind of go over Joe's journey here to, where he is in his career. From high school. Where are you from, Joe? I'll let you take that.
Scarborough, Maine.
Joe, the camera's over there.
Scarborough, Maine.
Okay, Scarborough, Maine.
My bad. Please.
Yeah, home of the Dolphins, I believe.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Scarborough, Maine. From Scarborough, Maine, you went to Boston College.
I did.
4-year starter there, correct?
Yeah.
Any highlights there that you would like to throw in there? I heard there's a trophy of some other people there that you may not be on.
No, I actually have a big picture now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
What position did you play?
Took
played
some time.
a couple years. Played everywhere. Left field, shortstop, third base, second base, first base.
Wow.
First base? And pitcher.
And pitcher.
And
Utility
pitcher.
guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then out of there you were a free agent sign or a draft pick? I don't remember.
I got drafted.
Okay, draft.
Yeah.
Drafted by the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I was late.
All right, outstanding. Made it all the way up to AA, I believe. Actually, technically AAA.
Technically.
For those looking up.
I never played in a game, so not.
Well, okay. Well,
yeah.
the idea, I would tell tell
Yeah.
people if I made it to AAA.
Okay, we'll go with that.
If I were you.
Yeah.
Just wanted to really touch base on how, 5 years ago, is this something you've always envisioned on doing? Would you always envision on coaching or being, I forgot, you're not a coach or performance?
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can explain your position a little bit more in detail.
Sure. I'm a development coach, so I guess I am technically a coach, but it's a position in our baseball development group that kind of helps with the basically the distribution of all of our analytical process stuff and kind of getting that to players and control and kind of distributing the information in a way that everyone can understand, and it keeps us all kind of on the same page when it comes to all that. That's as good as I can get for now. Yeah.
So as now doing that as a job, was that something you were kind of going off what Scott was saying? Is that something you were interested in? Maybe for yourself as a player, understanding that information, or is it something that's intrigued you?
Yeah, it was. I always was into the sort of the analytics side and the information that was out there, and kind of knew that there was a lot more than perhaps I knew when I was playing, and stuff that maybe could have helped or maybe could have been a detriment, but kind of was into the analytics, and then am very interested in how we can use that to sort of help players just get better.
Do you find yourself looking at it differently now that you are on the other side of it than you were when you were playing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you just see things from an operational standpoint that, you kind of get to see how things are run, and there's sort of things that I've seen that have explained some of the decisions or things that happened when I was playing that maybe I didn't quite understand why this guy went to that level, or why we're doing this in the cage, or why our pitchers are trying to do a certain thing. But I think, yeah, there's things that I understand more now. I sort of see the bigger picture. Yeah,
I mean, there's being on the other side of it now. Currently, with our minor leaguers that are home, and they'll come home and show us some of the analytical data that they're given when they leave. Hot spots in their swing or what they hit against breaking balls, and it's fascinating. I feel like do you feel at times that we give too much information to players?
There's just a lot out there, so I think it's just having the right filter to providing sort of the stuff that is going to help people get better without sort of distracting them and maybe pulling them off of what their task is or what they should be focusing on. But because there is a lot out there, and I think sometimes you can get information overload.
Yeah, absolutely.
So kind of figuring out what piece of information is going to help that guy get better and providing that to him and giving him one focus rather than 10 different things to focus
Is it
on.
more of on an individual basis, or is it more of
I
you
think
know, as a organizational philosophy, or is it more individual based? Hey, this is what you need to.
I think it's both. I think you have to have certain things that organizationally you want to do, but then there needs to be, you know, a certain bit of individuality where, you know, we don't want every single player working on the same thing. I think you and I have talked about that with just hitting instruction. Like, you can't have every single guy doing the same thing because bodies are different.
Yep.
Guys
Strength,
are at different,
flexibility,
age
some
levels, strength levels, you know, swing, the way they swing is different. So I think having a good organizational philosophy is good, but then being able to sort of break it down and work with each individual guy.
Yeah, I think that for me as a player, not being all, you know, this really wasn't really a thing when I was playing, and seeing all the information that they have, it's almost, you know, sitting down with a player yesterday. We sat with a kid yesterday in our office, and he was showing me all this information. I was like, hey, that's great, but like, what's the plan moving forward? You know, what's the plan this offseason? He almost didn't have an answer. Like, he has all this information in front of him, but he doesn't really know how to apply it to himself in order to, you know, to achieve, you know, obviously what the organization wanted him to do.
Right, and so I think that's going to be, you know, part of what I will do this year is sort of, you know, figure out kind of how we can use the information and apply it to like tangible things, like things that can be worked on every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the goal is to hit the ball hard, and as a pitcher, the goal is to throw strikes. Like, it still kind of
Wait,
comes.
it's not to throw as hard as you can?
Velocity is definitely good, yes.
Yeah.
But
Hits the
it's
backstop.
that's not good.
Oh.
But it's not like it's not. The objective is still the same, so the information is just used to.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting because we were talking about pitching development yesterday, like with one of our pitchers who was like, his slider, you know, one of his sliders is like his best pitch, but I wonder how that. I'm interested to know how, if that's his best pitch, but Grant Levine hammers sliders. Why are we throwing? Do you still throw that pitch? You know, those are the kind of things that obviously you guys are. You know, it's what you get paid to do, but it's a fascinating world because you're almost taking in a lot of ways individual feel out of the game, because what if he feels really good with a slider that day, but his numbers don't say that it's, you know, all that great. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I think you never want to take away what someone does well or thinks they do well. But then again, it's the same way, like we talked about hitters, different strength levels. It's like, where is this guy at in his, is he 19? Is he 25? Like, you know, you're going to want to be focusing on different things just based on age, level. So again, that's where the individuality, I think, is important rather than just kind of a cookie cutter approach.
Yeah, no doubt. So what are the expectations going into the season?
I mean, overall, I'm excited to get started. It's going to be it's a newer position for us, so it's going to be a little bit of feeling out the day-to-day processes of it. But yeah, I mean, I think overall excitement.
Well, it's got to be different from like going and playing,
It's
like you're playing in AA to now coaching in high A. And you're
I'm
not that much older than some of these players.
No, I personally am looking forward to, excuse me,
COVID.
Just being in one location for a full year. You know, when I played, I was bouncing around and staying in different apartments and host families and all that. So from a personal standpoint, I'm excited to just kind of be in one spot and get to kind of have some consistency and know where I'm going to work every day. That'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to be on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And it's such a big piece of it is the human element of coaching, and I think that's one of your best traits. I think you're obviously an outstanding young man, but I think you have a unique ability to relate to each individual person. And I think that's what's going to separate you as a coach, is that ability to connect with players and coaches, whoever it is.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I wanted to go this route rather than maybe traditional coaching or I guess outside of baseball, because, you know, being able to kind of get to know a bunch of different people from different backgrounds and kind of figuring out what they need and how I can help, you know, different groups is kind of like that's the key part of this job. So that's kind of what I'm excited about.
Man.
Do you anticipate playing professional baseball, playing in college at a high level, Do you anticipate that helping you through this year and being able to not just kind of dig through the analytics, but then communicate that to players? You think being a former player at a pretty high level is going to help you kind of decipher what these guys need and what they don't need?
In a way they can understand and hopefully apply.
Yeah, yes. I think it'll help more from almost just a like a day-to-day like ease of knowing how things work and just kind of the day-to-day of playing. As far as like helping with the information and understanding the information and applying it and coaching with it, I don't think the playing background is really all that necessary, but it will just make my job a lot easier early on in the season. I mean,
knowing the flow.
Yeah, just the flow of
the
how everything works and the timing of a day and, when might be the right time to say something or pull a guy aside or when might not be and kind of, so I think playing background will help there, but I don't think it's necessary for the actual job itself as far as like applying this information. It's just, it's data and it can be done by anyone as long as they understand it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's change gears here a little bit. Favorite baseball memory?
Oh, favorite.
You can go back to Seabrook Little League if you need to.
Yeah,
I know Jim would love that.
Scarborough, but
Whatever. It's all the same.
no, we lost. No, it's not. Seabrook. Yeah, no. Favorite baseball memory. There's two, I guess. It was high school, hit a walk-off home run in the Western Maine final to send us to the state championship.
Thick competition in Western Maine.
Well, it was off Sweet Lou DeStasio.
Oh,
If you
really?
remember Sweet Lou
Sweet Lou.
DeStasio.
I know Sweet
We
Lou.
ended up losing the state championship, which that wasn't good. We also lost the Little
Not
League.
that you think about that ever.
We also lost the Little League Town Championship when I was in Little League. That wasn't good either.
Couldn't make out of Scarborough.
No, and then I think winning the regional when in 2016 at BC that's probably number one. Yeah.
Who was one of the teams that you beat in that regional?
Tulane.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tulane.
Interesting.
Tulane.
Home of one
The
Jake
Green Wave.
Wilsey.
Oh yeah, Jake Wilson. I think we beat them twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
twice. Former NEB alumni, part of that game, Jake Wilsey.
Yeah.
Big part of it.
Don't think he's over that yet.
Yeah, he's not. He hasn't moved on from that game.
A little rude to bring that up.
Yeah, no doubt. Next question. Is your back hurt?
From.
Well, every golf competition we play, and you tend to carry Coach Patterson. So just
I
wondering if
think.
your back-
No. This is
I
why,
can't-
Mike.
See, he's trying to get between
He's
us.
not. It doesn't work. It's a team game.
It's a team game.
It's a team game. He
Maybe
hits it.
what Scott maybe doesn't bring that day physically on the course, mentally.
Mentally, I'm there.
He's carried me a fair number of times as well.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Some people try to drive a wedge.
I can't do it.
Some things are impenetrable. Yeah, that would be our
Good word.
relationship, Joe. It's okay. He loses on a pretty regular
Yeah.
basis.
Well, you got to change partners a lot.
Joe's a terrific golfer, for those who don't. He is a terrific golfer. That being said, I bring the mental part of the game.
Yeah.
Try to get in our opponent's head.
Do
Usually,
a pretty good job of it.
usually not very difficult. So, for what I lack in golf ability, I make up on the
You
mental side of the
bought
game.
Some condominiums in my brain.
Yeah, we own some real estate. There's no doubt about it. Joe will slide in some comments there to really get you under.
Yeah.
All right.
Last question. For a high school kid or maybe a college kid thinking about, thinking down the road and they want to get into professional baseball and maybe don't know kind of which way to navigate, do you have any advice for somebody with those goals?
You're saying playing wise or like
As a staff,
Working.
as an employee,
Uh,
playing, be better.
well, yeah, be good.
I have one before you get going.
Oh,
I think it's in today's society sometimes it'll be looked down upon about getting an internship and working for a lower minimum wage than you normally would, in any other job that you may get. Joe, put that aside and grind it.
Yeah,
took an internship. Very educated guy. You have your master's. You're in the process of finishing your master's.
Finishing, yeah.
Graduated from BC. Super educated. Threw himself right in there, threw all the expectations of society out the window, and he went and grinded. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think that there's, especially in baseball, there's a limited number of, there's 30 teams, so there's a limited number of jobs, and I mean, a lot of people want to work in baseball, so that I think being willing to start at the bottom, but also that was like, I wouldn't have been able to take the job I have now without a lot of the stuff that I learned last year, so I think that can sometimes happen, especially if, like, maybe a former player who thinks they might be like, I'm not going to intern, like, I know what those guys do, but like, there was stuff that you just don't know and you don't see as a player that I think I needed to learn last year to be able to hopefully do what I'm going to do this year. So, but being willing, just talking to as many people as you know, and I think it's kind of cliche, but like, you reach out to anyone, like, you can reach out to anyone, connection or not, and they're usually more than willing to at least have a conversation and give you a place to get started. That's what I did. I called as many people as I could, and I obviously had some good connections, but I think like
Great connections.
I think you'll find that people are willing, if you're willing to reach out, they're willing to at least give you the time a day and kind of give you somewhere to get started. Because you gotta know what you're looking for, I think, too.
And I think you need to find a way to get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's the importance of relationships that we talk about all the time. It's more than baseball.
Yeah.
You're able to reach back because you were such a good teammate, a good person. You're able to reach back into those relationships and ask people for, hey, what should I be doing? And those people are more than willing to help you because of who you are as a person.
Yeah, and just getting someone to explain kind of like the big picture of like the different avenues you could go, I think is important rather than just like, I want to work in baseball, which is what I did in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then I, got some direction. It's like, okay, there are a few different ways you can go and kind of where to start.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for episode 3 of Barn Talk.
3. Appreciate you, Joe.
Tuning in. Yeah, appreciate the drive down. I was going to say, let's hug it out.
Oh, sure.
Short. Sure. I mean, this is
Three-way?
I'm gonna call it.
I'll get in the middle.